Today, we're gonna go over the benefits of cold plunging, and you're gonna get to see a video of me shivering, kind of like I am a little bit right now, post-plunge. Steve, have you ever cold plunged before?
Heck no. Cold plunging just seems like a cold and uncomfortable thing to me. But we'll go through the benefits and see if Jose can actually convince me that this thing is beneficial to my workouts and my life. So let's get into it. And we're gonna start out with number one, the benefits. So Jose, what are some of the benefits of this cold plunging?
There's really three things to talk about. You're gonna have increased mental resiliency, 2, improved recovery and muscle strength, and then number 3, you're gonna have increased alertness through hormonal changes that happen. So, number 1, we're talking about mental resilience. You're forcing yourself to go into a very cold environment, which sucks. Your body immediately gets into the fight or flight. So you start to vocalize yourself and you start to move around because you want to get out. And this is something that deals with the prefrontal cortex part of your brain called the top-down control. And you force yourself to stay in that environment, which makes you're really training your nervous system and your mind to stay cool, calm, and collected when real world stressors arise. So, what do you think of that?
I mean, I'm kind of convinced by that. Just like with your muscles, when you train them, you push them to the next level, you get stronger. It's kind of like your brain. You're sort of training your brain to endure something more intense, so you're becoming mentally stronger. Your brain's like a muscle in some way.
Exactly. So going over the second benefit, which is increased alertness, focus, mood, and reduction in stress. You're gonna have an upward of 250% increase in dopamine, which is one of those that, it's one of those hormones that help you feel a little bit more motivated and makes you want to do things. And about 200 to 500% increase in adrenaline. So norepinephrine and epinephrine, which again, it's that whole fight or flight, and you're gonna feel a little bit more alert and focused. And there's research that shows that this is actually a little bit more powerful than caffeine or nicotine combined, and it lasts for about 2 hours plus. Right now after plunging, I feel really, really awake and focused. I'm still slightly shivering, but I feel nice and awake, and it's pretty cool. So based on that, do you want to cold plunge?
I'm getting warmer, no pun on words there, but I'm almost convinced. I can definitely see where, increased energy would be beneficial. We can only drink so much coffee.
Yep.
So cold plunging does make sense. But there's something that a lot of people are probably thinking about. Can I lose fat as I'm in this cold water? Because some evidence or internet searches may show that. What do you think about that, Jose?
So there's a lot of people that are like, okay, I want to lose fat with cold plunging. You can have a boost in metabolic in your metabolism with cold plunging, but it's not really happening as you're plunging itself. You have white fat and you have brown fat in your body. So when you're cold plunging, you're basically helping to convert your white fat to brown fat over time, which makes your metabolism a little bit more efficient, and that alone helps you burn more calories or lose weight, and helps you endure the cold a little bit better over time. But the metabolic benefit is slightly smaller than expected.
Yeah, so it makes sense to me. If I was gonna cold plunge, number one, make me mentally stronger.
Yep.
I can buy into that because we love challenging ourselves. So the stronger I am mentally, the more challenges I can do. Number two, I can buy into the energy because, like I said, I can only drink so much caffeine, which I don't drink much to begin with, but it's a nice natural way to boost the energy so you get through your day. And then with the fat part of it, all right, so I get it that maybe I'm not gonna go from, if I was overweight to super skinny just jumping in cold water, but at least there's some benefit there.
Yeah.
So, now, knowing these benefits, I'm partially sold on the idea, is that should anybody jump into these cold plunges?
Nope. So there are some precautions or contraindications. So you'll know more than likely if you have some heart issues, probably shouldn't cold plunge. You should also not cold plunge if you have a condition called cryoglobulinemia or Raynaud's disease, as well as maybe having something called cold urticaria, where you might get hives in your skin, things of that nature. Also, you shouldn't cold plunge too cold too fast, meaning you see a YouTube video of someone going in temperature, going below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're like, I've never done this before, let me go ahead and do it, and you do it fast. You might go into cold shock. You don't want to do that. So it's good to start around 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit and progress from there. We'll talk a little bit more about protocols, which we've actually gotten through a website with Andrew Huberman. We can link it below so you can see it yourself. He's done all the research. We're just kind of putting it all in a short summary here for you. So there you go. There you have it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so it seems like a great idea. Although for us people who don't like the cold, like yours truly, yeah, I'm kind of getting sold on the idea a little bit, because we're always looking for that added benefit. But the thing is that you do have to really consider your overall health. Obviously you can consult a physician that knows you well to help you with the decision making, because there are all kinds of things online, including us right now. And we're here to simply guide you. But the fact is that do your due diligence and really protect yourself, because we want you to be safe. So now that we know, okay, here are my benefits, and then here are some things to be aware of, tell me a little bit about recovery, because I've heard that cold plunging is pretty advantageous for recovery, especially we love doing these more intense types of workouts. So how would I structure cold plunging into my typical routines?
To keep it simple, it really depends if you care about muscle hypertrophy and strength, or if you just want to recover. So let's say that you actually care about getting bigger and stronger. You actually want to wait at least 4 hours after your training session to cold plunge, because you'll blunt the inflammatory response that happens naturally that leads to the adaptation process of muscle growth or muscle hypertrophy. So if you want to train and then say 4 hours later cold plunge, or even better, train Monday, let's say, and then cold plunge on Tuesday while you're taking a rest day, that would be best. Now let's say that you're an endurance athlete and you're cycling out there and you're like, I really don't care about muscle size. You could go ahead and cold plunge right after without, you're still gonna get the benefits of perceived recovery and feel really good, but you don't need to wait as long. So for you, if you're an endurance athlete, you can go ahead and cold plunge right away. But if you care more about muscle power, strength, and recovery, wait at least 4 hours, or even better yet, wait until the next day.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there are certain, if you provide me certain parameters where I can realistically build in my workouts, especially, both of us are working, we're balancing life. It's like, how does this all fit together like a puzzle? So it's almost like that 4 hour mark it's almost like the magic time, or later, particularly if you want to not affect the muscle gain. In fact, you want to maybe improve the muscle gain or the hypertrophy.
Exactly.
Awesome, I love that. I've been searching online, and so talking to you, I'm obviously getting a little bit sold more and more into this whole idea of cold plunging. But online you see cold showers, and why would I invest into these, a tub to hold the cold water, or sometimes you can get something really fancy out there that has a chiller attached to it that is quite the investment, where maybe I can just jump in a cold shower. So what are the pros and cons between cold shower and then truly cold plunging?
So putting it simply, a cold plunge is superior to a cold shower. And if someone doesn't have a cold shower, then getting out into the air is a little bit better, but there's not enough evidence to actually back that up. The reason why a cold plunge is superior is because we have these brown fat deposits right around your clavicle and sternum, which getting up to the neck will allow you to get those metabolic benefits. And so you're gonna feel really, really cold and get the benefits right away. Also, you get a lot colder in the water than you do in the air. Plus, being in the shower, it's a mix of air and water, and you're kind of getting some cold, but when you're immersed in it, you have no choice. You're stuck in it, you're embracing that suck and loving it a little bit there. So I would say if you have the chance, definitely invest in a cold Plunge, I went to Tractor Supply, my wife and I, and we got a big old tub. It was only, I think, 80 or 120 bucks. And I just keep it outside with water, some snow and some ice. It's really easy. So you don't have to go ahead and get a fancy, tub with, just keep it simple for sure. Yeah.
I'm almost sold with the whole idea of cold plunging. Now, before I go out there and try it, are there any other details that people should know about before cold plunging?
Yes, breathing. You don't want to go in there and start breathing in like this. You're probably going to pass out. So it's recommended that you do 2 nasal inhales and a longer mouth exhale to calm yourself down. You want to, number 2, move your limbs around to break that thermal barrier that's going to happen so you feel the cold and get the benefits a little bit more. And then if you want the metabolic benefits, you want to end it with cold, meaning you don't want to hop in the hot shower. And if you really, really want to embrace the suck, you don't want to towel off right away. You almost just want to dry off naturally. And that will help you get your body to adapt a little bit better to the cold so that when you go outside, you're not freezing all the time. So keep that in mind.
That's very helpful information. So after this video, hopefully you have a good high-level understanding of what cold plunging is all about, how it can benefit you, whether or not you're the right person to cold plunge, and just some parameters to get you started.
You could do it. Just have fun with it. It's like anything else in life.